Good.
Thanks for joining me tonight on Tana's News Network, TNN. That just has a much better ring than CNN, don't you agree? Well, anyways, I just want to say thank you for being here today, and I want to preface what my intention is on TNN. It is to give up to date, real live news that's happening, in the media, as well as to give you the news of what's going on in my life or the people that I work with, the people that I deal with, my family, just real life, what's going on, and the news of that. And so I have a lot to report. So let's just jump right in. I want to say that for those of you who don't know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So that's why I'm in pink, and I try to wear a lot of pink in October. And here, in the Midwest where I live, it's dreary and it's starting to become, it is fall, it's starting to become winter. So wearing pink is different. A lot of people don't do it because we're gearing up to start the hibernation process. But don't worry, I don't hibernate, and that's never been part of my character, even though the state that I live in is really, really cold. So Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So if you can do anything, help as I do, if I can join 5K runs, I love to give back in any way, shape, or form. And there's so many of us, men and women, that have friends, family, and loved ones, or directly have been affected by the disease. So every little bit that we can do for the Susan G. Komen Foundation is a blessing. So also, I wanted to say that I just learned from a friend of mine, Dan Smith, that today is National Coffee with a Cop Day. And I got an email from him telling me about this, but it was too late because I'd already had my coffee. And also I should say we've got Paul with us here tonight. So Paul is going to be managing all of the questions, comments, thoughts that you guys have, and he'll be relaying those to me as we go along. So please, we want this to be interactive. Message me, comment. If you have a question, I'll get to it.
Hey, hey Tana. We're also making
that?
sure that everybody shares the stream as well. Make sure to tag your friends and let them know we're on air.
That's a good one. Thank you. We definitely want you guys to tag anybody that you think could benefit from this episode, because this episode is a lot about parenting. So if you know somebody who's going through a divorce or is struggling in their marriage or is struggling parenting their child, regardless of the age of the child, please share the video now, because I'm a big believer that one person seeing it could change their life and actually help a lot of kids down the road. So thank you for that, Paul. Getting back to National Coffee with a Cop Day. So I wish I knew about it because I got this great MAGA mug that I'm very excited about. And no, this is not an ad, but I got this mug months ago. I got one actually for my mom and my dad, and a Christmas present for my son. And hopefully he's not watching and doesn't know that. But anyways, the mug says, so what it is it's Donald Trump's tweets put on mugs. And so it's really taken off and people really love them. And so because Trump tweeted me, I got to have a real mug. I got to have my tweet from President Trump actually on the mug. So that really excites me. So while we're at it, I might as well tell you what it says. So Donald J. Trump tweeted at Hey Tana, great job on CNN tonight at Hey Tana. We are all proud of you, exclamation point. Also, congrats on a great son. He is going places. So President Trump loves my children. And that was really fun. So cheers to all of you in law enforcement, those of you who are protecting us every single day. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I want to give a big shout out to my sister-in-law, Renee. She is in California. She's an LAPD lieutenant. So hats off to Renee for all that she does, and to all of you watching who are in law enforcement or retired law enforcement. Thank you for all that you do. So I have to tell you really quickly, and then I want to get into really what I want TNN to be about tonight, or this week, I should say, is yesterday I was celebrating a birthday lunch with my best friend and her mother. And her mother swears that she bore me because, I could be her daughter, and we have a wonderful relationship. And so right before went inside the restaurant to meet them. I shot a quick video on my iPhone. And so I was sort of tucked in the backside of the restaurant in the like the trees for pretty background. And as I'm recording myself, I'm seeing a man approach me. And I'm like talking in the camera, but I'm also eyeing him up and I'm measuring him and I'm profiling him. And I'm like, this man looks normal. He looks wealthy. He's got on nice clothes. He looks groomed. Why is he coming close to me? Oh my gosh, like he's really close now. So I stopped the video and I said, hey. And he goes, well, hello there. And instantly my instincts went trouble, danger. I felt threatened. He got really close, like this close to me. Well, hey there. And my instincts said, run, danger, you're threatened. And I literally ran as fast as I could away from him, like, oh my God, like ran to the front of the restaurant, turned around, and he goes, well, all right then, bye. It was like he was in a trance. So I don't know what that was, except for that was my instincts. My intuition said, run, danger, trouble. And I want to share that story with you for a few reasons. But the first and most important reason is, as adults in today's society, we have been taught and trained to diminish and to disregard that intuition. And that's our animal instinct. And my animal instinct said, this man is going to harm you. I don't know what he was going to do, but I was scared and I ran, and I know I looked stupid and I looked like an idiot and I looked like a chicken, but I didn't care. I got out of there and I honored my intuition and I felt good about it. Now let me take you to going inside. So I get inside the restaurant. I'm really nervous because I don't know. 1, is he going to harm someone else? 2, is he coming in after me? 3, did he recognize me? 4, what was he doing? Like, why did he get so close to me? And why did I feel this way? I knew it was bad. So I get to the front and I tell the receptionist or the lady hostess, hey, I just had a man approach me out in the parking lot. I felt very threatened. He got in my personal space. He seemed like he was out of it. I want to speak to the manager. Well, the manager's busy right now. He's on a telephone call. I said, okay, well, table for 3. My friends are probably in there waiting for me, but I need to let you know. I need to tell you that I hope that he doesn't walk through the.
Oh, she froze up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not doing anything about this. I think it's great that you're bringing this to my attention, but not a dang thing is going to happen. And so I said, well, bring the manager over. Okay, so I sat at the table and I was sharing the story with my friends. And I seriously looked at my watch, and 25 minutes later, the manager's like, oh, hi, I heard that there was an incident. I said, there was. So I explained the incident. And I said, I just want to be protected to know that if he comes walking through this door, you're not going to let him back here because this man, I felt threatened. Well, we can't do that, actually. We can't profile him. We can't, as a public place, we can't ask him to leave the premises. We can't, right? And the lady that my second mother, was like, do you know who she is? And then my best friend's like, it's not about who Tana is. And the woman goes, no, it is. You need to protect this woman and any woman that's telling you this story. So she says, what are you going to do about it? And he goes, actually, nothing. And I said, well, then I suggest you call the police, because I don't know if he's out there harassing some other woman in your parking lot. So do you want to go out and take a look at it? No. He had no interest. He didn't care. He didn't want to protect me. He didn't feel like this was urgent at all. And it scared me. So I was regretting that I brought a small purse, because I usually have my concealed weapon in my purse at all times, and I would have felt more protected, that if he walked through the restaurant, I was there to protect myself. But I didn't have it. Management wasn't going to do anything about it, so I told him to call the police. So 5 minutes later, the police shows up at my restaurant seat, interrupting my beautiful birthday lunch. He does now know who I am. He does now know that in my city, there's protection around me and my family. So he was a little bit more aware, and he was going to go do a circling of the perimeter and whatnot, but gave me his card and said, more or less, if you want to call me, I'll escort you to your car. But this is the life we live in now. So I share that with all of you just to tell the story that don't dismiss your instincts, your intuitions, because they're always right. I don't know who this guy was. I don't care. The rest of the story is I don't know it, but I want to share that with you because a lot of people that I work with in my career don't act on their instincts and have been in a lot of harm's way. So I share that with you for that reason and that reason only. Thank goodness nothing happened. So Paul, if we get any comments, questions, or whatnot, you throw them out at me because I'm in the stories and I'm not paying close attention.
There you go.
Okay, thanks, sorry.
I can
Okay,
hear
so
you.
we've got Danielle watching, Kevin watching, and Teets watching. And Kevin mentioned he was a chicken. Any real man would have checked.
Oh, I know.
And
Oh, he
Danielle,
was.
Danielle says that TNN is real news, not CNN.
I agree. No, I'm telling it to you straight from the heart. This is all true. And thank you, Kevin. And I do believe I was really disgusted. I came home and told my husband, we'll never eat there. But the management didn't care. So it's scary, especially in today's day and age with sex trafficking. Why I felt that way, I did. And I don't ever question it. So getting back to how I've experienced this is, so one of my favorite, well, I love being an entrepreneur. I'm just going to lay that out right now. For those of you who can't tell, you obviously are not very observant. I love my job because I get to pick who I work with. I get to pick what projects I work on. And it's super exciting being an entrepreneur. And one of the parts of my job that I love so very much is being a life coach. And I know a lot of you who follow me or are my friends and are on my social media platforms have used me before. And I loved working with you and I loved moving mountains with you. And we've done some amazing things. And so I learned really early in this life coaching career, which actually happened as an offset or offspring of being on The Apprentice. The world got to see me and people kind of got to see my heart and people wanted to work with me, primarily women, because they wanted to be more confident. And I love that because I didn't know what kind of a life coach I would be, but I quickly found out I was a really good one. And I learned that I was good just because people that were working with me were getting results and were feeling better about themselves and were improving in areas of weight loss, depression. I've worked with a lot of veterans with PTSD, but really the part that excites me the most out of all the life coaching is when I get to talk to parents who have parenting issues. And that's what brings me to wanting to make TNN tonight strictly on parenting. And I don't want to lose any of you who are watching to think, well, I'm not, I don't have kids. I'm not pregnant. I don't want kids. I'm never going to have kids. So, you exit out of Facebook. Please don't, because you're going to get something out of this. I promise, or I hope I should say. But anyways, one of my most recent clients was a man, and he actually hired me for sales advice. He wanted to improve his business. He needed more clients, he needed more money, and he was hoping that he could tap into some of my marketing skills, and that I have, and that's great. But when we started talking, I quickly learned that we had an issue that I had to tackle. I didn't know if I was going to get this guy for another visit because I'm not cheap. And so when he said some of the things that he said, I immediately went, oh my gosh, I've got to help him. And what he was saying more was, he said, so, my life, my finances are a mess because I'm going through a divorce. And I said, oh, that's too bad, children. And so for those of you who've never worked with me, this is my style. I'll ask a really quick, pointed question, children, and then I get one word answers back. So it's real direct. I want it fast. Give it to you. I'll ask another question. Give me your answer. It's like I'm interviewing you to get all the details, and then I dissect it and spit it out. So children, yes. How many? 4. Ooh, boys, girls, both. All boys. Oh, okay. And he said he was a really bad dad. And that took me back because how many parents would say that? Like if somebody said to you, Tana, are you a good mother? without a doubt, yes, like the best, but I want to preface that by saying that I consciously conceived my two children. I planned them. I was excited about them. I anticipated them, and I wanted to be not just a mother, but a good mother. And so that's my reference. So I do understand that some people didn't plan their children and they got pregnant and they had their children, and that's great. Or some parents, just everybody has a different scenario. So I don't know his scenario, but I know he's got 4 kids now and is going through a divorce. So immediately I want to protect these children and protect him and his ex-wife from a horrible situation. So I started asking the questions and I said, wow, for you to say you're a bad dad, what makes you say that? And so he shares some stuff with me, and we get to I peel back the onion. And what I get at, folks, was he's addicted to his video games. And I, for a minute, almost wanted to like laugh, like, is this for real? Like, this is a grown man, and he's telling me that he's a bad father because he's addicted to video games. And I didn't ask what game, Call of Duty. I didn't ask because I don't care. My guess is it's probably a violent one, but that's a judgment. I don't know why. I don't see him as playing NHL like my husband or my son do, but whatever. So I went, oh, wow. Okay. Well, do you want to change that? And he's like, well, I don't think I can. I said, well, how old are the kids? The kids range from 2 to 10. You've given up? Like, a parent just gives up like that you've got 4 boys, that you are their mentor, and you're telling me you're going to give up on them? And more or less, he didn't think he could get it back. And so I said, well, what are you going to do? Like, who's going to get custody of the children, and how's this going to work out? And they're still working through all that. But then he shares with me that he'd like to leave the state, and he'd like to go live with his best friend that lives on the other side of the country. And he's thinking about doing it. And I said, well, wow, that'd be a really selfish move. Don't get me wrong, there's times that we need to be selfish, but this is definitely not the time, because you have 2 to 10-year-old span 4 kids in there. Like, they need a father. And so I'm trying to help him understand that, like, you don't have to give up, and that you can be a good dad. And I was giving him some tips. And folks, when he said that he didn't think that he could carve, because I give practical advice on how people can get from point A to point B very swimmingly and seamlessly, and without you really knowing you're really putting in an effort. But you have 4 children. Can you give each child 20 minutes a day? That would be 1 hour of your day if you gave each child 20 minutes of uninterrupted personal one-on-one time with just that child. Set your watch, move to the next one. And honestly, he couldn't do it. So we agreed that he would give each child 20 minutes of uninterrupted love time, whatnot, for 1 hour, 1 day a week. And that day he chose. And he's going to report back to me how it's going. And my heart broke. My heart broke for the 4 kids. And he didn't know how he could even have a conversation because he's so disconnected. And I said, tell me what your day interaction is with them. And he says it's very little. They come home from school. I come home from work. I go to the basement. I game. I come up. We eat dinner. I go back and game. They go to bed. That's your existence of a father? And so we're hopefully he'll come back. I don't know, because we didn't get very far, because I had to help. But what he said about wanting to bail and just kind of wrap up and leave them and go move to the other side of the country made me realize, and this is what I want everybody who's watching to realize, is there's a lot of people out there that are hanging on by just a thread. So that's first thing I want everybody to realize. The second thing I want everybody to realize is that there are 4 children right now who may be brushing their teeth, maybe watching TV, maybe gaming, doubt it because he's down there, maybe eating dinner, maybe outside playing with their friends. Well, actually, kids don't do that anymore, so I doubt they're doing that. But they have no idea that the life that they know as of right now could literally be flipped upside down, and their life can be just blown up and just destroyed because of two people that couldn't make it work. And listen, I'm not judging. I'm a divorcee. I've been divorced before, and that's a whole story for a whole nother day. But I'll tell you what was the number one priority for me was parenting my two children that didn't sign up for a divorce. They didn't pick my spouse. They didn't ask to be born. So I had to make a decision that when I became a single parent, was I going to go get my groove on with my girlfriends that I just met, because misery loves company and single people do love single people, go out to the bars and hit it up with my girls, or was I going to stay home with my babies and try to mentor them? So these are decisions that all of us have to make. And I know I've got friends that have messaged me on Instagram about this episode that I'm doing here tonight on TNN, saying kudos, Tana. And I know that these women and men, but this is primarily a woman, I know she's given it her all. I know she's working extra jobs. She picked up an extra job to work on me during the inaugural week and the inaugural ball. And she did my hair, and she did my beautiful niece and my beautiful daughter's hair. And she's working her butt off to be a good single mom. And so she's doing it right. But there's a lot of people that aren't. So I'm not judging because I've been a divorced person. I've been a single parent. It sucks. It's hard. But what I'm hoping to do with Tana News Network here tonight is to say, folks, we all have different experiences, and we could be a support for one another. And when I was going through my single parentness, and I was a new divorcee or whatever you call us, I didn't have anybody to talk to because there wasn't a network or a support group of people saying, hey, this is what worked for me, or this is what worked for me, or this is what didn't work. And this is what didn't work. And nobody's doing that. And so I just want tonight's episode to be about, there's a lot of people hanging on by a thread. If you know somebody's going through a divorce, help out. Say something. Give somebody some hope, some light that it does get better. I am living proof that I swear to God that there's a rainbow at the end of the storm if you just wait long enough. And I'm also a big believer in karma is always watching. And if you're a good parent, you're going to have good offspring. And your offspring's going to want to be around you. And then you're going to look at your offspring and you're going to say, gosh, all those nights I stayed in and played bingo with you, or we went to the apple orchard when I wanted to go get a buzz on with my friends, or when I wanted to go on a date, I chose you. It's all worth it. So you may be struggling right now where you're at because parenting is so hard. And I have a tip for you all. I'm waiting to hear back from this new business with a new app. We may be doing some partnering, and I do definitely want to share with you some suggestions on how things can get a little bit easier. But first, I want to make sure that I'm aboard as an influencer for this brand before I go tooting their horn. But I definitely have some suggestions for those of you who are struggling. So hit me up in the comments. I'll personally get back to you. If you have a quick question, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to give some insight. And I just want to let you guys know that we're supposed to be the light in the world. We're supposed to be helping one another. And so go help one another and share what worked for you and tell somebody what didn't work, because my heart breaks for kids that don't have a clue that their life could be turned upside down in a matter of days. And I just experienced that firsthand with a client of mine, that his 4 boys might not have a daddy. And that's not good, folks. That's not what your children signed up for. So I'll pause there and see if you have anything for me, Paul, before I give a recap of.
We absolutely do. We've got Kevin, and Kevin said they need memories. 2 minutes can make it. My dad was always at work, and all it takes is 1 or 2 minutes a day to make a child's day, which is a great comment.
That is a great comment. Thank you for that. You're so right. And I shared with this client as I left, and he had tears in his eyes because he didn't know if he could do the homework assignment that I gave him, the 1 hour, 1 day a week. But anyways, he had tears in his eyes, and I said, let me tell you what, can I ask you one more question before we leave? And he said, sure. And I said, do your kids know that you love them? And he goes, I think they do. And I go, they need to know that you love them. I said, if your kids know that you love them, you can get through a lot and it's going to be okay. But your children need to know that you love them. So to Kevin's point, exactly. It can only be 2 minutes. But if your child knows you love them, okay, there's hope. You're on the right path.
There's another comment here from Mike. And Mike says that maybe if you quit the video games, you'd get more sales.
Good point. Yes, that's very true. Sounds to me like he does the video gaming in the night after he does the job. But you're right, there's always ways. Hey, I market myself. I work on my brand after hours, all hours. So there's no time frame on how hungry. If a person's hungry, you can get work.
Yeah, if you need more sales and you're playing video games, you could be out there prospecting, you know.
Exactly, 100%. So I totally agree with that. And so what was I going to say here? I wanted to share with you all real quick that I know you're probably dying to know. Oh, Paul, I thought of it. Lining Kugels. I'm messing the name up, and I know that person. Was the beer that was in here, and I won. So yes, you're looking at her, folks. The awesome. Champion, the Stein holding competition, I won it, and I think I had a little bit. I know I had more juice in the arms, so I was really excited to share that my charity that I chose this time that I won is the food pantry here down the road from my home. And with the holidays around the corner, I just wanted to make sure that there was food in the pantry so that people can have a Thanksgiving Day meal, hopefully a Christmas meal as well. And that was really exciting. I also want to say, for those of you who don't know, that Paul's been putting up TNN videos on my YouTube channel, which is Hey Tana TV. So go subscribe to the YouTube channel and then share it. So if somebody wants to see this or somebody needs to hear this, please share the videos and go like my YouTube channel, because we're going to get that dialed back in. So a little bit more of the content that I've done and been so busy doing, I haven't been able to put up. But now we've got Paul, so I think we'll be in good hands. So I just want to say, you guys, go out and have a wonderful week. Tomorrow night, President Trump is in Rochester, Minnesota, so that's why we did it tonight. So go hug a police officer. Hey, if you drink coffee at this hour, go give a cup of coffee to a cop. And it's National Coffee with a Cop Day. That's exciting, and I didn't know that until Dan emailed me. So I want you also to know, a lot of people ask me, do you read our emails that we send you? Do you see us? Do you hear us? Do you care about our emails? And I want you to know, yes, I do. I read them all. I try to reply to them all. I try to get back to everybody that reaches out to me, but I'm only one person. But I want you to know I appreciate everybody that emails me and follows me on all of my social media pages, because I want this news network to be a platform of love and light and inspiration. So like I said, go add me on all the social media sites, and go be kind to somebody struggling, whether it's a single parent, somebody who's going through a divorce, just even a neighbor that's doing it all on their own. You have no idea how playing with their kid or distracting their kid or doing anything that you can could give a parent a break and smile more. It's amazing what a smile can do. So I'll leave it at that, unless there's anything else that I need to address, Paul.
I've got some really nice comments here from Healy. Honey, you're the modern dear Abby. Beautiful message.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Haley. She's so sweet. I appreciate that. And you're a wonderful woman as well. And so she shares her knowledge. And it's really, and what I've learned about women a lot is a lot of women don't want to help another woman out. And that's just jealousy. And that's just a competitive. I have a competitive spirit, as you all know, but I would never, ever hold anything back from helping somebody. And so those people that are jealous of you, cut them out of your life. They should not be part of your life, and they should not be in your life. So jealous people are toxic, and I don't exist with them. So thank you, sweetie.
It's awesome. So
And
there's one other
Nancy's got something. Oh, Nancy, thank you. She says you're always thinking of others. Love the love. Miss seeing you. I miss seeing you too. And Nancy, another one. I know I could go on, and I will for a minute. Nancy was a woman that I knew right around the corner. She used to live right around the corner from me, as I just said, and she was very fit, very athletic, and I wanted to look like Nancy. I wanted to be a runner like Nancy. I was a triathlete, and I always struggled in running, and I would ask her tips, and she would give them to me, and so I always appreciated a woman who is physically fit giving another woman who's physically fit almost like an edge, and she shared her knowledge. And so I love women that share the knowledge, because at the end of the day, folks, this isn't a competition where only a few of us get to succeed, like it's only like that. No, the whole world gets to succeed. So share the wealth and share the knowledge. I think you're saying something, but I can't hear you.
Mouse dyslexia.
There we go.
Can hear you.
Sorry about that. So yeah, we got a couple more comments there. You're probably seeing Nancy at the bottom there, and we've got a Sonia comment as well. And one of the things that we can do here when we're doing live is that they can hit the follow button and get an alert when the next time that you go live.
Oh, so let's do that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, and that's
I see Sonia's message, and she's a new friend of mine. I met her in LA, and she's awesome. And what I loved about her is strong women love strong women. And she just said women need to support other women. You're so right. And she introduced me to a network of women. One of her real good friends, Caprice, was a lady that I loved and met, and we were just instantly like friends. And that's because strong women love other strong women. So thank you for that, and keep doing you, girl.
All right, we got one from some fella that you might know. He's out west in the hinterland of, what is it, Oregon?
Oh, what's he? Oh, Alan! Yeah, hi, Alan. I need to come on your show. I'm not avoiding that. I want to come on and we'll have some fun. But you rock as well, so it's awesome. You guys are so sweet. And really, I like to look at my network of friends and my network of clients and my network of people that I follow, and we follow and support one another. As I was mentioning, my network is not toxic. But if you look at the common denominator, most of us are givers, and we're lovers of other people, and we're lovers of seeing other people succeed. And so really, if you look at all of us and you go, why is she lucky? Why is she lucky? Why does she have that? Why does she have that? Why does he have that nice car? Guess what? Karma rewards the good. So the nicer you are and the better you are, the more blessings come shining down. So, do good and good things happen.
Couldn't have put it better, Tana. You're gonna be on next week?
Yeah, so I have to look at the schedule. Is next week, I have to look at the schedule. But yes, I mean, we're going to do it next week as long as President Trump doesn't have a rally on a Thursday, because I don't want to take from that. But we'll be on next week. And like I said, Tana's News Network is really going to be about what news strikes me, or what happens in my life or in the life of the people that I work with that I think is worthy of sharing with you guys. Yes, the Kavanaugh circus is still going on, but I don't need to beat that dead horse. And also, I don't want to bring a lot of negativity. I don't want to actually bring any negativity to this channel. And so I want this to be uplifting, even though I shared about the Kavanaugh circus last week, to share with you all that I recently, in writing my book, just realized that I had been a victim of sexual abuse, and how did I deal with that? And so I shared that with y'all last week. So if you missed it, go to the YouTube channel, Hey Tana TV, and you can hear it. So I want to keep you guys much longer than, where do we go? Okay, I don't want to keep you much longer than this, so you can go enjoy your evening. But I do thank you for sharing some of your time with me, because time is our most valuable asset. So I don't take you all for granted. I thank you. Oh, we got David says, do you feel CNN has pushed you out? No, pushed me out personally? No. I did TNN because, one, it's better. Well, it's not better. Well, actually, it is with Paul and John.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's better. But no, I don't think CNN pushed me out. I don't think CNN pushed anybody out. CNN pushed themselves right out of ratings because they want to just diminish our president and all the great things that he did. So they pushed themselves right out, and that's okay because I came right in. So with that being said, you guys go have a wonderful Wednesday night, and thank you again for joining me here on the Tana News Network. Go share the video, and we'll see you next week. Take care.